Buckle up for a mind-bending exploration, narcissists, and the 5 principles of chaos theory.
Mm.
Hashtag unleash the mayhem.
Mhm.
Sakafet, welcome to Unfiltered Liming Podcast. Join us as we reflect on our personal journeys and share our insights, experiences, and stories. From food to music, language to customs, we explore what it means to straddle two cultures and find a sense of belonging in both. Whether you're a first-time generation Caribbean American, a seasoned veteran, or simply curious about the rich tapestries of cultures that make up the Caribbean diaspora, this podcast is for you. We are your hosts, Lisa, the Dominica Diva.
Bertide, the Haitian sensation.
No one's talking, so let's get unfiltered.
Let's get into this because that is the question of the century. Not the day, the century.
Get
I love
into
it.
it, my peeps. What's going on? We always like to
Mhm.
bring y'all fresh, unliming, unfiltered conversation on our topic, and this one is just another one. So, chaos, unleash. Let's go. Coming in hot.
How's it going?
How's it go?
Yes, I know.
It's going
Oh,
fantastic, but ready
hmm
to unleash some control chaos today because hey, chaos makes the world round.
Okay.
There's wonderful opportunity
Yeah.
in chaos. So we got lined up questions that will make your brain spin faster than a tornado on roller skate.
I know, right? Let's kick things off with our first question. What is chaos suffering? You might ask, or you might say.
It's a sweet symphony of disorder. Chaos suffering is like a roller coaster of emotion you experience when life throws you a curveball, right? It's unpredictable, it's uncomfortable, you weren't prepared for it, it's unexpected. So it's like picture chaos as a mischievous prankster, and suffering is the laughter echoing in the background. So chaos suffering is basically because we know at times chaos can come, we can't control certain chaos, right? And I'm going to say
Mhm.
certain chaos because I do feel sometimes we bring on chaos to ourselves. So that's why I'm saying certain chaos are
Mm,
unpredictable. So,
hmm
for example, perfect example, and keep going back to it, is COVID. Unexpected chaos. That's unexpected. We couldn't control it. It happened and stuff like that.
hmm
Unpredictable. You know what I mean? So when these kind of things happen, that's where that's what will be the example of the suffering of chaos, because it's gonna bring
Yeah.
emotions, it's gonna bring things that, again, we were in a state of not knowing what COVID was, who's dying, who could affect, like all these things that was unpredictable. And we're suffering, and the world was kind of like watching to wait to see what would be happening
hmm
while there's
What
millions,
happened
thousands
next?
of
Yeah.
people dying every day worldwide. So that's kind of like chaos
hmm
suffering right there. Something that
Yeah.
it's just, and it could be not to that drastic or massive. It could be smaller things in your life. So, for example, as a teenager or as a child, your parents getting divorced. That's chaotic because you know what I'm saying.
hmm
You can't control it. It's unpredictable for you, and you just got to learn how to go through it. What else? A breakup could be chaotic if you are not the person that
Yeah.
initially you
Initiated it.
yeah, you thought that things
hmm
were good and the person did it. What else? The death of someone that you love passing away could be
Yeah.
chaotic if you were not
hmm
expecting it. So there's a lot of different
Yeah.
minor chaotic things. Discourse between
Yeah.
a mother and a son, or a father and those kind of things happen
Yeah.
in our daily
Yeah.
work. Let's say career wise, if your job closes their doors or fires you, or lets you go for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I'm giving an example so
Yeah.
people understand. Those are the kind of things that when we talk about chaos suffering, that
Yeah.
it would be something that you just
Yeah.
didn't plan for,
Prepare
didn't
for.
prepare for. So
For yeah. Yeah. That was perfectly put.
yeah.
Perfect. Now let's dive into the 3 types of chaos. What are they?
Okay, well,
There's three types of them.
we need to buckle up for this one.
I think
We need to buckle up.
yes,
Please
definitely.
buckle up, people. So again,
Yes.
disclaimer, this is
Yes.
our perspective. This is our conversation with friends, our research. If there's more, if stuff is not looked, this is just our experiences again, right? So we got the
Mhm.
chaos trinity, and here's the first one. The first one is simple chaos, like a toddler rooms after playtime. Simple, you know, just something that's
Mhm.
as a parent you got to fix it. It's just minor stuff. Your dog,
Just
when
minor.
you leave your dog at home and they chew a pillow, small chaotic
Yep.
thing, just simple stuff.
Mhm.
It's not gonna raise your blood pressure. You're gonna laugh about it after.
Yeah.
It's just simple. Then you got,
Laundry piling up.
yeah, then we got the deterministic chaos, where patterns emerge
Mhm.
from seemingly random events. Like think like a butterfly
Yeah.
flapping its wing, right? So this one I
Mhm.
would say it's patterned, right? So it could be you're
Mhm.
at work and you just start realizing that things at work are changing, but it involves you, but nobody's saying anything, right? You're starting to maybe
Yeah.
recognize a pattern, or
You feel the effects.
yeah,
Yeah.
or you're in a relationship, your person is cheating, but you don't really know. You're starting to realize pattern changing, and you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? These are the little, it's that medium kind of chaos,
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
lastly, we have the random chaos, which is again COVID,
Ooh.
which is pure unbridled,
Hmm.
madness that defies any attempt to predict or control. So again, different
Mhm.
example. COVID is the random chaos that no one asked for, no one invited to the family reunion, but it showed up at our doorstep.
That was perfect. That's a perfect way of putting it. We did not ask for that and it showed up anyway.
Anyway,
Oh my gosh. Or even just to kind of bring that down a notch, that's like an ex showing up at a party that you did not invite.
yes.
Just saying. Fascinating. Now, okay, thanks. Let's talk about the emotions of chaos.
Ooh.
What do you think about that? The emotions of it. Because I feel like a lot of it is emotional a lot of times, or it can create emotions in you
Right,
that you were not prepared for.
right. I think it depends on the chaos, right? So, like the
Mhm.
simple chaos of my dog chewing my pillow or whatever, that could give me a sense of but I love her. So I bounce
Yeah.
back quickly, right? Because
Yeah.
she's a
Yeah.
dog,
You'll let it
yeah,
slide. You'll
or a
let that slide.
toddler. At this point, it's a
Mhm.
toddler. They can't pick up after themselves. I love them. It's gonna happen. That emotion is gonna change very quickly.
Mhm.
The deterministic chaos, I think it just depends on what it is. So if it's like
Yeah.
a conflict between a parent and a child, or a loved one, right? A partner or colleagues
Mhm.
at work or whatever, I think you're
Yeah.
going to feel different emotions. Or going through a divorce. I think going through a divorce would be a random chaos, or could be, I don't know, that one. But those kind of things is going to bring different emotions. You could go from anger
Yeah.
to temper to sadness to shock.
Yeah.
So everybody's
Yeah.
response to what their
Yeah.
emotional chaos is at the time. You could have, so
Yeah.
let's say you're a person with anxiety, right? And then you have
Yeah.
this chaos that could get you spiraling to a whole different sense of, you
Out of
understand what I'm
control.
saying? So I
Yeah.
think at the end of the day, if you're insecure, so let's say again you're in a relationship, your partner cheats on you, and they get somebody else, and you have insecurities in yourself, and then he brings this person that's totally different from you, whatever, that's gonna bring your insecurity to a whole, you understand what I'm saying?
Out. Mhm.
So
To right to the surface.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think the random chaos is gonna bring also, oh, I think the random chaos like COVID brought an emotion that the whole entire world dealt with on a whole big
Mhm.
scale, and then
Yeah.
individually it brought like
Mhm.
different things. Because I know for me, and you tell me, during COVID,
Yeah.
at first I was like, everybody like, okay, a little bit like scared, but again, because we didn't have all the proper details, I was like, okay. and I just had moved, so I was by myself. I was kind of like, okay, transitioning. So I was already dealing with some emotional stuff, and then adding that to it. And so, but where I moved was very tranquil and peaceful, and I was able to go to the beach. So
So that helps.
yeah, so I was aware of my emotion, and because of everything
Mhm.
shutting down, it also gave me more time
Mhm.
to process
Yeah.
emotions of what I
Yeah.
was going through, and not being around
Mhm.
people, not being, it wasn't busy because nothing was busy. So for me, that was
Yeah.
the thing. Then as COVID moved along, the emotion became scary financially because again, I was
Yeah.
traveling before COVID, and then with doing
Mhm.
hospitality, it shut down,
Mhm. You can't
so I
travel.
couldn't
Yeah, you can't
travel.
travel.
So that put a
Yeah.
scare on me. So I had that fear of, oh my gosh, I just moved. I can't travel. I'm tapping my finances
Yeah.
when, because we don't know when it's gonna end. So I had that. So I had to again, I feel like everything happened for a reason. Where I was able again to go to
Mhm.
the beach and process like God has a plan. Was able to find something part time. You know what I'm saying? Kind of worked itself, not ideally, but it worked
Mhm.
itself out. So I would say you just gotta know what emotions you're going through, right? But what about you? What do you think?
I think that not speaking about, I mean, COVID, yeah, everything that you said, yes, but emotionally also too, I feel like you have to think about what traumas that you have. So certain chaoses will bring up those traumas, and then the way you handle it is going
Mm-hmm.
to be completely different. Right? There might be some things that is traumatic to one person, somebody might think is chaos, and for whatever reason
Mm-hmm.
you're just kind of like, oh no, I'm good,
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. And then someone might look at you like, how you handling it like that? You know what I mean? So, but maybe I might not have had any traumas in the past
Mm-hmm.
that was connected to that
Mm-hmm.
chaotic situation, where there's other chaotic situations. Yes, there might be connections to some emotional thing in the past, and it's going to drum up the emotions,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then to someone else, they can be like, why are you handling it that
Mm-hmm.
that way? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the emotions
Mm-hmm.
sometimes cause you to handle things a certain way, where one person might not have handled it that way. Number two, it might not have been necessary for you to bring the chaos to that level. So that's why it can be emotionally too. And speaking of the heart, let's move on to the three C's of chaos theory, right? The three
Absolutely.
C's of that. So
Absolutely. There's
go ahead.
the complexity, the connectivity, and the control, right? So the
Mm.
complex system that emerges from chaos is everything that is connecting in
Mhm.
some way, somehow, and yet control
Mhm.
is basically elusive, right? It's delicate dance between
Mhm.
order and disorder. That is the
Mhm.
connectivity of understanding, like, okay, again, if it's if it's a toddler after they're playing in their
Mhm.
playpen, you can't control the toddler leaving the playpen and playing and leaving in disorder, but you could, it's some form of order, right? So that is kind of like
Mhm.
connected, and you just got to learn. Just
Mhm.
like again, whatever situation that
Yeah.
you're in, there's a way of, in order, there's disorder, and just learning how to navigate, I would say.
And I feel like complexity makes me think of like, maybe it could be a domino effect from a car accident on a highway,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And that can just, it's so complex. It was one little thing,
Mhm.
but now you have a 20-car pileup.
Right.
The complexity of that chaos is a whole new level compared to a little fender bender. And who better to dance in the chaos than the person who thrives in it? Because there are some people, they thrive in chaos,
They
which it just
do.
blows my mind. Like,
Yeah.
and maybe with us being Caribbean, and we have that switch that we can flip
Mhm.
and like be like, kick back, sip the coladas, and we're
Mhm.
cool and everything's irie. And there's some people, they have to thrive. They thrive in that chaos,
Mhm.
whether it's good or bad.
Right. But I think it's also because
Mm.
of, if you think about the Chaos Connoisseur. connoisseur, right? They thrive, and some people
Mhm.
thrive in unpredictability. They don't like to be boxed
Mhm.
in. They want to be able to have freedom to do whatever. They just
Mhm.
thrive in, oh my gosh, I have all
Mhm.
this, it's unpredictable, it's
Mhm.
disorder. So that's excited for them. They like,
Yeah.
figuring out like how to navigate, and it keeps them like their adrenaline pumping. It's just
Oh
like an
yeah.
adrenaline junkie and stuff like,
Adrenaline
yeah.
junkies.
So they just like
Mhm.
it. And again, if they use it to for positive, it could be a good thing. But I just think that some people just thrive, and it's like, is it the Allstate, the mayhem guy? Is it the Allstate that has the mayhem?
Oh, the old state. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The mayhem guy.
like
Yes.
the mayhem.
Oh, he thrives in
Oh my, that's
chaos.
a perfect
Oh,
example.
yes.
If you don't know what Allstate is in their commercial, but they,
Yeah, the commercial.
yeah, that he just,
Yeah,
texted me and stuff, like he purposely, and that's
he
the
does.
whole
Yeah.
goal. So
There's some people like that.
go.
There's some people they just thrive and they love that. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. How do
I
you
can't."
with the chaos
Oh.
personality though, how do you calm that? Any tips? Can you, first of all, can you calm somebody in chaos? Or how do you calm chaos within
Ugh.
yourself, for yourself?
Well, okay. Well, I can speak for myself.
Mhm.
I think for me, calm and chaos is first of all, you got to center yourself.
Mm.
You got to center yourself. Like in that moment, you got to stop and breathe.
Mhm.
For me,
Yeah.
I just have to stop and breathe and be like, listen,
Right.
just like weigh it all out. Let's get the breathing under control. I can settle myself down
Mhm.
because even in chaos, the one thing you can't control in chaos is yourself.
Mhm.
So for me, I feel like that's going to be the one thing I'm like, okay, let's slow this down a little bit.
Mhm.
Calm myself down, deep breathing.
Mhm.
Once I calm myself down, drink some water. You got to
Mhm.
drink some water. And then look at the whole picture. How am I going to go about this situation to settle the situation down? So now that I settle myself down,
Mhm.
if I'm in the position to settle the situation down,
Mhm.
how do I now settle the situation down?
Right.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're right. It's turning it into a masterpiece for yourself, right? It's like all the
Mhm.
things
Mhm.
that you're saying is learning, one, what your emotion is in that particular time, so you know what the chaos is, why you're reacting that way, and then finding your, like Lisa said, what resources and what works for you to be able to know, like, oh, I'm in chaos, what is my thing? What is the thing? Like in the midst, like
Mhm.
I said, of chaos with COVID, the thing was for me to go to the beach. That was my center. That was
Mhm.
the my calmness. Like Lisa said, meditating, being in nature, walking and stuff
Mhm.
like that. You gotta find that thing that helps you realize, like, you can't, certain chaos you can't change. So you gotta be able to
Mhm.
navigate in a healthy state of mind and a positive state of mind for you to be able to get to the other side, because sometimes you can't control it. But
Yeah.
what about the paradox chaos theory? What is that all about, Elle?
Paradox, chaos, that's order and in order.
Okay.
Or let me say that again. The paradox is this: in chaos, there's order, and in order,
Okay.
there's chaos.
Okay.
So it's a dance where there's two or inseparable. Embracing the paradox is like embracing the yin and the yang of life,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So it's just, they kind of go hand in hand.
It's like the moon and the tides. Why the
Yeah,
ocean
that's a good way
tide?
to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, you need it
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do what it needs to do to change. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on
Yeah.
the what did they call it, meteorologist kind of stuff or whatever, like the
Astrology. Are
astrology.
you saying
Astrology,
astrology?
thank you.
Meteor,
Yeah,
because meteorologist is
the weather. Yeah. Well,
weather. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of a thing, like how all of that science work, I think, like, yeah, with the yin
Yeah.
and the yang, I think that that's what it is. But let's deep now, if we go a little bit deeper, let's break down the chaos theory. What do our listeners need to know in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, chaos theory explores the behavior of dynamic systems, right?
Mhm.
It's about finding order in apparent randomness, understanding the butterfly effect, and recognizing the small changes that can lead to big consequences, right? So when you make a decision to do one little thing,
Mhm.
you have to also think of not just yourself, of also to who is that going to affect,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Because with the butterfly effect, something that you might do over here, you might think it's no big deal, but then there's going to be repercussions and
Mhm.
consequences after the fact. And sometimes things it end up affecting other people's lives that you have no idea about. So sometimes you got to yeah, and the chaos of it all, you got to sometimes stop and think before you
Yeah, like my chaos right now is my wonderful dog
Mhm.
barking while we are recording this live. So again, I love her. I can't help it. She's gonna do what she needs to do. So I just smile, and see, we're giving y'all life lessons on the spot, putting into
Yeah,
practice,
clearly.
putting into
Clearly.
practice our tips and our resources for y'all.
Mhm.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. You just never know. I mean, this is minor chaos, but at the same time, sometimes in
Yeah.
life we want things to
Yeah.
be in order perfectly, and sometimes it doesn't work that way. So, how are you flexible to manage it and things like that?
Yeah.
But like you said, I
So,
do believe, like you said, the chaos. What about the chaos philosophy? Hmm?
well, chaos philosophy is all about accepting the inherent uncertainties of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding the beauty in chaos and understanding that sometimes the best plans are no plans at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's all psychological roller coaster, right? Sometimes just being impulsive. You get up one day, you might not have any plans for today, just going out and exploring and doing something different with no plans. Sometimes it might end up a little chaotic in the sense that you probably end up running into certain things that you didn't prepare for. And it could be something as small as you didn't take an umbrella, you decide to go for a walk, you didn't take an umbrella, and now it's pouring rain and you just got wet. Yeah, that might seem like chaos, but it's not a large chaos. It's manageable. You know what I mean? If you get wet, it's all right. But the point was is that you got up, you had no plans for the day, and you survived the day and it was okay. It was fine. You survived.
Yeah, I would
So
agree. Now, here's a question that I know a lot of people ponder: is why do narcissists like chaos? And please explain what is it while you're doing that. I'm gonna look up narcissist so I can tell her because
yeah, please do.
okay, why
The definition of
yes, but
narcissism.
I'll let you answer. Why do you think that they like chaos?
Oh, the chaos loving narcissist. Let me tell you, they thrive on action and drama, and chaos provides a perfect stage for their grand performances. I just think a lot of times they're attention seekers. Maybe they've had a lot of trauma in their life and they cannot see themselves being no other way. And then also too, the saying, I love to say this, hurt people hurt people. So I think a lot of times, and these are just my perspective, I'm not a psychologist. I think a lot of times too, if they get into environments where people and things and it's peaceful and it's serenity, they have to spin stuff up because in their whole life has been that they cannot function in any other way. So now it's the thing, I am going to spin it up for everybody else. So they thrive in that they need the attention, the drama.
Yeah,
They have to have the perfect stage for their grand performances. So that again, so they're in the center of everything,
right,
it's like a spotlight on their ego,
right.
right? They love every moment of it. And if they don't have the people around them to feed into that, they will drop you like a bad habit and they will move on. They will disappear like poof, like nothing ever happened. You know what I mean? But hey, it's not them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all
It's
you.
always
And whatever reason that they disappear or it's all you. You were the one that was in the wrong. You messed up everything. Oh God, they're just so
so
disgusting. Sorry.
Oxford's language dictionary definition of a narcissist is a person who has excessive interest in or admiration of guess who? Themselves.
Yep.
Narcissists who thinks the world revolves around them. That is coming
Yep.
from
That's about right.
Google. What is it? Oxford. I don't know if y'all could see it. I'm not making it up. This is not my definition. I want nobody to come
Mm.
after me. Google it. Like they said,
Listen,
Google
they can
me,
Google it.
Google it.
What
The other thing I would
they
say
can
that I
Google it.
would add to what you said is the fact that if you are a person that you prefer admiration on yourself, because in everything in doses, it's good. And in everything in over amounts, it's bad for us. We know that, right? Everything in life, there is spectrum, right? So we're not saying if you are a narcissist or not a narcissist, it's all bad, but it's recognizing at what point are you hurting the ones around you? At what point is
That
it
part.
all about you
That part.
and you do not recognize? First of all, you're not accountable for yourself, to yourself.
Nope.
You're not
Nope.
responsible for other people emotions around you. You are lacking, you're manipulative, right? Because again, you want everything to be about you, so you don't give the people around you the time to, you don't safeguard people's emotion and allowing them to be who they should be, because in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, it's a parentship, it's a co-working ship, I'm naming all the ships that we could think about. Whatever it is,
Oh God.
it's a give and take in that relationship, right? I should be able to be myself. If it's a true healthy relationship, I should be able to be myself, trust you with my emotion, trust you with, allow me to
Mhm.
be me and give me the space, and then vice versa. You should allow I should allow you to have the space to be safe, whatever, whatever. Now, if we are, and I'm going sideways, and I really don't care who this, because y'all already know I'm the Haitian sensation. If
Oh wow.
if
Listen, listen. I gotta put a disclaimer right quick. I'm gonna drop this real quick. She's been drinking cremos. You said that's how you say it?
cremas,
Cremos. She's been drinking cremos all day, people. So the fact that you just called yourself L, the Haitian sensation,
B, did I not?
yes, you did.
Oh, my bad. B, I'm
You don't.
B, the Haitian sensation.
She forgot who she is, people.
B,
Yo, D Lyman Crew. She forgot who.
I'm
I'm
B.
just giving. The Cremos. We gonna drop.
Yeah,
We gonna we gonna blame it
we're
on the
gonna
Cremos.
blame it on the
Anyway,
crema.
moving on. Go ahead.
So,
Sorry. Go ahead. I just had to put that disclaimer real quick.
disclaimer, my perspective, like Lisa said, this is all Bertie's perspective. If you had friends, regardless if it was a year, a month, or whatever, we were cool, and you're not openly honest for whatever reason, and we've given you space to be honest, and at the end of the day, you basically redraw because of your traumas, right? But we've been there with you, let's say for 5 years, six, however long, give you the space. We've encouraged. We are there, phone, you whatever, encouraging, uplifting each other, right? And because of your trauma, because of your chaos, because again, you're in your head, it's all about you. You then start to neglect the friendship. You then start to withdraw within yourself. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not speaking for L, I'm speaking for B. At a certain point in time, if I know I'm invested and I've shown you my action, that you could call me, you could talk to me, we could pray, we could do a lot of stuff, I'm not going to keep holding your hand after an amount of time. Because at the end of the day, it's selfish of you that I've proven myself, because I do understand in friendship, I've proven myself. And then you no longer feel, for whatever reason, that you don't trust that, tell me. I'm okay with you telling me this no longer fits the friendship, the relationship. I'm okay. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. It's really not. It's gonna be hurt for you, because at the end of the day, I know what kind of friend that I am, right? And at the end of the day, I want the best for you. So if at the end of the day you no longer want that, I'm okay to walk away from you knowing that I gave my best to you. And don't think at the end of the day, because you're now being shitty, that I'm going to have no type of remorse with your narcissist behind and you're manipulated behind thinking that, oh, I should come running after you. And then you probably going to tell everybody that it was my fault. It's okay. My favorite song when things like that happen is Chrisette Michelle. You could blame it on me and I will receive that. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to that. I got it.
I just had to say it because I feel like there's so many
No,
times
yeah, true.
as
True.
people
It's so
when
many
you
times.
care
Yeah.
about people and
Yeah.
you give to people and you really and that has happened with friendship for me and with family. Like I feel like people sometimes, and I feel like that's why sometimes narcissists are able to be all about themselves because I believe like people sometimes that invest positively in people and want the best sometimes some people they haven't had that, so they don't know how to receive
And they don't know how to
you.
receive it. No, they
So
don't know how to
then they
receive it. And
go,
then it's like,
yeah, then they go and
oh,
they self
hmm,
sabotage the friendship because they can't understand
yes.
why you're
Yes.
pouring positive on them, why you want the best for them, why you're consistent in your
Yeah.
message. Like, I don't want anything from you because I'm
Yeah.
not taking gifts from you. You ain't paying my bills. You ain't
Yes.
giving. There's nothing that I
Yes.
need from you. So I think that's the other thing too,
Hmm.
because the thing is, if I was receiving
That bothers
from you,
them.
gifts from you, all this, I could say I don't need that from you to want the best for you.
No.
So they self-sabotage and they go to their
Yes.
comfortable situation
Yeah.
to keep themselves and
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of evolving or doing the work and instead of trying to understand,
No.
okay, let me reflect, let me. And at the end of the day, I do wish those people the best, but at the same time,
Yes.
I'm never going to apologize for wanting the best for you,
Or being a
for
good
wanting
person.
to
Yep.
be a positive
Yep.
influence to make you think, to make you see, like, yo, at the end of the day, God made you a badass, right? And ain't nobody in
Hmm.
this world needs to make you feel or co-sign that you're a badass. So for me, that's what I'm walking on with you. Because that's how I walk
Hmm.
in my life. You're a badass. God says you are. So that's the only message I'm pouring into you. If you don't want that,
Yeah.
please exit stage. Like, don't be friends with me. Please don't comment.
Yeah.
Don't like. Don't share unfiltered because that's what you're getting out of this. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
what we about. Like, real BS. We don't need anything from you. We don't need gifts. We don't need stuff like that. We just
Nope.
want people to be, and I feel like that's the problem when you're a narcissist. You don't allow for that space for other people.
No, you don't. No. And because we talk about too, a lot of it is trauma. Just exactly what you said is the fact that they don't know how to receive when someone's consistent, genuine, thoughtful, genuinely has their best interest in heart. They do not know how to receive it and they sabotage it. And the thing is, we can see you sabotaging it every step of the way. And we're just looking at you like, you know what? I can't even be mad at you because you ain't had nobody that probably gave you a hug. You ain't probably had no one really be genuine with you.
And and the thing about it is,
You,
adding to that, you want to, that's the thing. You want to always be right. That's the thing I think also separates in
hmm,
narcissists and stuff like that. I don't always have to be right. I will gladly
no,
raise my hand when I'm wrong and I'm okay with
listen.
that because that's life.
Hmm.
But I feel like that's what
Hmm.
you just said is because they want to be right about what they're doing. The self-admiration, somebody coming to them like, "Yo, this is they
Hmm.
got to be like, "No."
And they don't make no mistakes. And they don't make no mistakes. They can't admit if they make any mistakes. I don't have no problem saying, listen, I don't know. And I made a mistake. They cannot handle that. And whoo, what a way. What a
Yeah,
way.
and I know we're staying a
What a
little
way.
bit,
Hmm.
but I think like it's so important in this life to recognize those people in your life because
Hmm.
you're
Hmm.
gonna because the other part too is it takes a while,
Lonely.
right? It takes a while to recognize those people. And if you're a person that you're constantly pouring into, whether it's a relationship, a friendship, and that person has that personality of being a narcissist or whatever, there is nothing in this world until you receive that that's who they are and you want to continue to be. You got to get to a point in your mind that you recognize that that's who they are, and again giving them the space to be who they are fully and not get frustrated with that, right? Because then every some people are okay to, whatever, and that's fine. But I do believe that you identify with, there's emotions, there's going to be the impulsive behavior, and the
Very
relation,
much
yeah,
so.
and their relationship's going to be unstable. So it's like
Yeah,
living on the edge of chaos.
because they're unstable. Because they're
Exactly.
unstable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
let's explore the personality disorder that creates chaos, right?
Mhm.
the I feel like borderline personality disorder also involves intense emotional swings,
Yeah.
impulsive behavior, and unstable relationship. It's like living on the edge of chaos where the line between order and disorder is razor thin.
Right.
And I personally feel like on part of that borderline personality disorder going back to narcissist, I think in my opinion, I think that's plays a part in it as well,
Right.
personally.
Right. I agree with you. And then what about those who love
Yeah.
chaos? What do we call them?
They're chaos aficionados.
Oh, okay.
Aficionados. The thrill seekers who revel in the unpredictability of life.
Yeah.
They find joy in the roller coaster of life and chaos in their preferred playgrounds. Now, I will say this, I have a preferred playground of chaos and
Mhm.
unpredictably and living on the edge myself,
Mhm.
but it's what did we say earlier in the conversation? It's on a small scale.
Mhm.
Like if I gotta be to your house by 5 o'clock, I'm gonna live on the edge and start getting ready at maybe 4:50 or something like that. I mean,
The
that to
Caribbean.
me is the extent of me. Well, I
If
guess
it's
you
a
could say that,
Caribbean
but that's the extent
party,
of
yeah.
me.
If it's a Caribbean
I
party,
guess so.
look, I'm not showing.
No, it's a party.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not showing
yeah.
up. Caribbean party. If they tell you 10
No.
o'clock, disclaimer, unfiltered alignment. We're gonna tell you something for all my American and other. If you're going to any Caribbean party and they tell you the invite is 10 o'clock, your behind will be the only one there at 10 o'clock. The doors will be
Yes, that
open.
is very
The
true.
doors will be open because the venue has to open the
Yeah.
door at the right time for you. You will be the
Yep.
only one there.
Mhm.
The party will begin at midnight. That's when 50% of the people will be there. By 2 o'clock in the morning, that's when it's all in full array. So again, 10
Yeah.
o'clock, you will be the only one there. Midnight, 50% will be there. 2 o'clock, we got a whole bacchanal happening.
I know, right?
Oh my
I
god.
know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, but
Oh
but
my
I do
gosh.
believe like you got with chaos, it's learning a new dance, right? It's learning to embrace it. It's learning to identify
Mhm.
it. And for the final question, why does chaos turn some people on, and what does chaos do to people?
You said why does it turn some people on?
Mhm.
Chaos as a turn on is about the thrill of the unknown. I think some people like the thrill of the unknown.
Mhm.
I think that a lot of times like thrill seekers,
Mhm.
they like that.
Mhm.
The excitement of unpredictability.
Mhm.
As for what chaos does to people, it challenges them. It forces growth and can be a catalyst to positive change.
Mhm.
It's like a pressure cooker for personal development. Now, I don't think all these things, I don't think there's anything wrong with this kind of chaos, right?
Mhm.
In the positive
Mhm.
light. You know what I mean? Like someone like we talked about being unpredictable, like
Mhm.
the roller coaster
Mhm.
rides and stuff like that, cuz that's kind of like a controlled
Mhm.
chaos
Mhm.
situation. So that thrill that they give them, like again, for me, I'll use myself as an
Mhm.
example. Like I like fast cars and jet skiing,
Mhm.
water sport activities, quads, like things
Right.
like that. I those to me is like thrill seekers,
Mhm.
you know, living on the edge and unpredictable excitement
Right.
to me. I don't. I'm not. I don't go any further than that.
Mhm.
Just saying. But I don't go any further than that. But I love also too the whole point, like career wise, challenges get
Mhm.
those challenges force you to grow,
Right.
right? So career wise, I think we all need to be pushed because I know right now I'm in a situation of unpredictability,
Mhm.
being pushed, and I'm in a challenge. And listen, I'm kicking and screaming every day,
Mhm.
but I know it will serve me later on during in life. I
Right.
mean, just all my all my peoples around me right now just got to listen to me complain. But I know that this is going to serve
Right.
a purpose and it's forcing me to grow. So
Mhm.
I think in that retrospect, that's an example of good chaos.
Right. And I don't think that it's
Because it's
wrong.
personal.
I
Yeah.
don't think that it's wrong also, like you said, to have all your people need to hear you, because you do that's a resource for you to be able to handle chaos. So that's a tip. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with venting, because then I feel like when you don't positively let it out, then you get more frustrating, in that moment or in that chaos, because you're not positively
Hmm.
channeling it. Because I do feel like, even though, like you
Hmm.
said, that you're in this pressure cooker, that you're doing stuff, but talking about it also gives you the different people perspective to help you, encourage you to keep going. Then if you were not sharing
Yeah.
and inventing it, then you'll be like, "Ugh," you probably, like, maybe a lot of times there's self-doubt, or there's just
Yeah.
unmotivated. I just think there's certain things
Uh-huh.
that we wouldn't push ourselves, but I think it's a healthy, again,
It's healthy,
it's
yeah.
healthy to talk about it and to just keep moving forward, and, like you
Yeah.
say, and get a different perspective. But before we wrap up, Elle, let's touch on the 5 principles of chaos. What are they?
Okay. The 5 principles of chaos are sensitivity to initial conditions,
Okay.
attractors, self similarity, emergence. What's the other
Bifurcation.
word? Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that word.
Okay.
Each principle unravels a different layer of chaos theory, showcasing the intricate dance between the order and the disorder.
So yeah, I think that is pretty self-explanatory. So that was brilliant
Mhm.
conversation. The Liming crew, please let us
Yes.
know, what is your random chaos? What is your different levels of chaos? If you're a thrill seeker like Elle, do you push yourself to do those things because you just like the adrenaline? If you are wanting
Mhm.
more resources, let us know what are the things that you do, so we can share as a community how to handle, chaos, the control one, the ones we can't control, and how to navigate
Mhm.
positively. And then recognizing the people. So if there's people, episode helped you realize, oh shoot, that person is a narcissist.
Woo.
What do I want to do next? Because I think a lot of times people don't recognize the signs and stuff like that. So anything that we've helped you, please comment, like, drop a heart. Let us know how you're gonna move forward. If there's anything that we can help you with, give you resources or information, or you want to come on, we'd love to have you. But that was brilliant stuff today, Elle. Our tips for you today: recognize the signs of chaos. Very important. You don't know
Mhm.
what you don't
Number 2, identify the chaos connoisseurs in your life. They might surprise you.
know. Oh, that's a good one. And third, learn to
Mhm.
find peace amidst the chaos. That will help you a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Already.
That sounds like a therapy session.
It does. I'm gonna get my license. Y'all can come sit on the unfiltered liming therapy session count soon. Coming near you. I'll keep you posted. That's
See?
a
That was
wrap. Yeah,
great.
that's a wrap for
All
the
right,
Chaos
Stokes.
Chronicles. Thank you for joining us on this wild ride through the
Yes.
tangle web of disorder. Remember, life may be chaotic, but that's where the beauty lies. Until next time, stay chaotic, my friends.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Unfiltered Lyman podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and gained some valuable insight. Don't forget to subscribe to the show so you can catch every new episode and leave us a review so we can continue to bring you fresh, exciting content. And if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss or a story you'd like to share, please reach out to us via our website. Join us again next Thursday for another unfiltered conversation about the rich diversity and complexity of the Caribbean American experience. Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating the unique cultural heritage that makes us who we are. Unfiltered Lyman is edited and produced by Unfiltered Lyman.